So, that dragon movie exists, and I have things to say about it. To preface, I won't really be talking about Raya from a filmmaking perspective because I'm not qualified to give that kind of critique. I'm just some random person online who saw a movie that happens to be set where he lives. By the time of upload, there's probably already several videos reviewing Raya's filmmaking, so this won't be about that. I'm going to be focusing solely on how Disney mishandled the cultural aspects of the film and the representation. I'm a Filipino living in the Philippines and have lived here my whole life, so my perspective will be coming from that cultural background. Of course, my words aren't gospel, but I do feel that I have the right to make the claims I'm making, as I am part of the population that Disney tried to represent. With that out of the way, let's get into it. So, there's no simpler way to put it, but Sisudatu does not look Southeast Asian at all. Disney actively ignored our culture to make a creature design that's marketable to families in the USA. When that trend of redesigning Sisu popped up on Twitter, a lot of people missed the point. It wasn't just that she looked like Elsa, or that she was ugly on a surface level, or that she was a bad dragon design. It was that she was supposed to be a Southeast Asian dragon specifically, but didn't resemble any actual creature from our cultures and mythologies. The disparity is especially noticeable when comparing her to the Thai Naga or the Indonesian Antaboga. I believe that Disney did this because the creatures and general visual style of Southeast Asia can be scary if you're not used to them, and a dragon that looks like this wouldn't really sell well in the West. They watered down our culture to make it marketable and profitable. Even compared to the Vietnamese dragon, which isn't as visually elaborate as the aforementioned dragons, Sisu still looks nothing like it. She lacks all the intricacies of design that are essential to the visual identity and iconography of this region. It's not like Disney couldn't afford to give her a more accurate design. At this point, they're known for the fidelity of their CGI. If they can render every single thread on Elsa's dress in Frozen 2, they can definitely afford to give Sisu some of the elaborate visual style for cultural accuracy. Foundationally, Raya is already in trouble because Southeast Asia is a highly diverse and varied region. The mainland nations have more in common with each other than they do with the maritime nations, so trying to quash all of that cultural diversity into just one generalized view of Southeast Asia is wildly insulting, considering that Disney has no problem sticking with one specific nation or culture in their movies set in Europe. Snow White and Rapunzel are German, Cinderella, Aurora, and Belle are French, Anna and Elsa are from Norway, and Merida is from Scotland. One of the biggest issues I have with this film is the cast. For a movie that made a lot of noise about how they would have the first Southeast Asian princess and be based off Southeast Asian culture, the cast is very painfully not Southeast Asian. Just going through the list of major roles on IMDb, I'm seeing a lot of Chinese and Korean actors. Raya herself is played by Kelly Marie Tran, who is Vietnamese. Boone is played by Isaac Wang, who is mixed Laotian, but the only other major character who's played by an actual Southeast Asian is the baby, who doesn't even have a speaking role. I'm not gonna go into detail about the history of East Asian imperialism in Southeast Asia or colonial mentality or anything like that, but know that it more than leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Disney is one of the largest corporations on Earth with near infinite resources. There's no reason that they wouldn't be able to find Southeast Asian actors. They've even worked with one before. Lea Salonga, a Filipina, famously provided the singing voices for both Mulan and Jasmine. Could they not afford to get Yuna or Dante Basco or Vanessa Hudgens? This isn't even mentioning the accessibility of the film to those who it claims to represent. Disney Plus as a service is not available within Southeast Asia. It's a giant slap to the face for them to make such a big stink about representing us, than not even letting us see the movie that's profiting off our culture. I know that torrents and VPNs exist, but why do we have to jump through hoops to see it? For all the noise everyone's making about Southeast Asians finally seeing ourselves on screen, we who actually live in this region literally cannot do that. Credit where credit is due, the movie is written by Quy Nguyen, who is Vietnamese, and Adele Lim, who is Malaysian. We also do get speaking roles from Dishan Lakman, who is Nepalese, Patty Harrison, who is Vietnamese, Ross Butler, who is Malaysian, and Francois Chow, who is Cambodian and Vietnamese. But they are incredibly minor roles that I don't think even break 1 minute of screen time in total. Now, this isn't meant to discount or dismiss the Southeast Asians who do feel represented by Raya. If you do, good for you. I am genuinely glad that you got to see yourself on the big screen. But know that your experiences of feeling seen do not discount the many Southeast Asians who've spoken up about our issues with the film. When Disney goes out of their way to market the film as representing us, it is massively insulting that they didn't even bother to actually hire Southeast Asian actors who lack opportunities in Hollywood that this movie really would have made a difference for. In conclusion, I really did not enjoy this film. Even outside of my annoyance as a Southeast Asian, the movie still has problems in and of itself. I found the story bland, the whole theme of trust was very heavy-handed and on the nose, the dialogue was annoying instead of funny or quirky, and visually, the film isn't really that distinguishable from Moana or any of Disney's other 3D works. Just to be clear, I'm not saying that you're not allowed to enjoy this movie or that you're wrong to feel represented by it or anything like that. I'm just giving my personal perspective and opinion on this film as someone who's part of the demographic that it aimed to represent. If you're Southeast Asian yourself, I would love to hear your thoughts on the film in the comments. That is all for today. Thank you for listening.